Once again, new series for us here, the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Rockingham 150 brought to you by Jinx Shifters. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason from your Signature Esports Network.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Race 2 of the season here in the Midwest Days of Mdot Xfinity series. This week we are going to the 2-mile track at Auto Club. Last week, after that exciting race finish at Daytona, Davey Hendricks collecting the win, locking himself into the playoffs at this point. Remember, it's win and you're in format. Look at the fast times here tonight. Davey Hendricks looking like he might have a little bit of competition, and We're hoping so. Davey Hendricks, a hell of a driver, dominated last season. Just he needs some competition to make the race more exciting, and he might have that with these guys coming up for Xfinity. And this will be really the first track we'll see who is good at saving tires. As you know, last week we were at Daytona. Tires really don't matter too much there. Next week we do go to Atlanta. So this will be the first track we see this season on who can manage their tires and who has that long run speed. We have seen these Xfinity guys do long runs multiple times here. Last time these guys went here last season in the playoffs, it was a green to checkered race. So definitely something to keep your eyes on. So definitely something to keep your eye out on is who has that speed. But I should be joined here in a bit by Mr. Ethan Flanagan. In the meantime, you guys got about 19 seconds left here in qualifying.
You got me?
As Ethan has joined the booth, we're going to Ethan. I was just talking to the guys about how this is going to be the first test of racing. We'll see who has that long run speed. I mean, anyone can be fast at these 1.5 2-mile tracks. Anyone can have that speed, but tire saving. Auto Club not really known to eat tires up too much. I mean, I know it eats the tires up, but not like the old Atlanta did or a short track. I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can tend to save tires pretty well here.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks. Like I'd say it's kind of comparable to Michigan or Chicagoland. Whenever it comes to tires. I mean, it's not Atlanta. It doesn't just eat up tires, but it definitely it does some damage.
Yeah, and one thing I love about Auto Club, we go ahead and let's right on board with Davey here for a bit. The one thing I love about Auto Club is it's a very multi-track. Auto Club Michigan, if you ask me, have the most grooves of racing on iRacing. Homestead's up there a little bit, but Homestead's really just 2 groups. Auto Club Atlanta, you got the low line, you have that midline, and you have the high line. It's a multi-group track, and it makes it really interesting racing because I have noticed racing it, when you start running the line for so long, let's say you start off your run in the high line, if you try to transition off that high line middle of the run, it don't work. It's like your car is so used to running that line, your tires are worn to that line, you're stuck up there. So it's going to be interesting to see on a long run where people go to get past the complete here. And it's a very draft dependent track as well. These guys get up to about, I think, 190 into turn one.
Oh yeah, very fast track. It's kind of like Michigan, maybe just a little bit slower at times and maybe a little bit faster at times. Depends on, daytime, nighttime. Because if Michigan was a night track, like with lights, it would probably be a bit faster.
Davey gets ready to get his first lap done. Let me turn this car volume down a little bit because I am broadcasting. Davey Hendricks posting the fast time of the qualifying session so far. Peyton Harding 2/10 behind him. Peyton Harding putting a pretty good qualifying effort in here early on. My bad, Chase Harding. Wow.
Did you mean Chase?
Oh, even Peyton. Peyton 3/10 behind him. So both of Harding doing a pretty good job qualifying here early on.
But we'll see what happens this lap. This lap's going to be much faster. They usually are.
Kevin Jordan 4/100ths off the quick time. See what Davey does. 41.54 coming to the line. Does he improve his time dipping below the white line there in Auto, which is allowed?
Oh yeah, 2/10.
2/10 quick, but Nance grabs the pole on his second lap. Still cycling through. See what Chase Harding does. Chase Harding completed his second lap. 19-4J missing last week's race. Wasn't feeling too well. 4J, I believe, actually won here in the trucks last season. He did, because this was the track where he had a ton of front end damage and was still pulling away long run.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that race.
Here's another name called DJ Schallenberger, third quickest so far.
Wow, that's quick. These guys, these new guys in Xfinity, they're no joke. They are competitive.
4J's first lap. I don't think the first lap's going to count. I think he got into the wall coming off of turn 2.
Ooh.
4J's using that the high line to qualify, and Davey used the low line. Already seeing that multi-groove racing, and we're not even racing yet.
Yeah, I mean, the high line can be used to qualify here. I've never used it myself to qualify in these Xfinity cars because I raced here last season in them. I mean, you could try it, but I don't think it'll work.
Nah, I usually, when I qualify at Michigan or Auto Club, I'm low line.
Yeah, well, usually at these tracks, you want to be around the middle on your qualifying laps because you need a mix of corner speed and drive off. That's what you need to have a good qualifying lap. So you can't be all the way on the bottom, but you shouldn't be all the way at the top. You should be somewhere close to like 1.5 lanes up, center of the corner.
Well, if I remember correctly, the race last season, long run, we were running the low line. I always remember that because I screwed up my pit exit twice.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get into that later on, how sensitive this pit exit is. But I was actually trying to help Francisco catch up with Davey, and we were running the low line. Gaining a little bit of ground on because we had a little bit of drafting help. And I think that's the line Davey's running as well. Everyone's running the low line on a long run. So I'm wondering if that's a tire-saving line. I mean, you got the high line. We're going to see the high line restart get crazy runs off of 2. We're going to see that all night long. And really, as a pole sitter, on the initial start, you're kind of at a disadvantage here because you don't get to pick your lane, and you have to go in green. There's no restart zone on the initial start. So pole sitter's at the disadvantage here.
The pole sitter's definitely going to get pinched going off in turn 1. But something I've noticed about these tracks, the first run, the high line burns up the tires the most because there's no rubber. There's no rubber on the track. That's why it burns up the tires more than the bottom lane. And it's only at the beginning of the race. It's just there's so much grip up there, it wears the tires.
Going through our starting lineup, Jonathan Nance collecting the first pole of the season. Last season there was technically no pole award. So, or last week there was no pole award because it was all duels that started that. So Nance getting that pole award, getting that bonus point for getting the pole position. Davey Hendricks, who is outside row 2. You'll have DJ Schallenberger and Kevin Jordan Row 3, you'll have Banksy the iRacer, Joshua Banks. Outside of him, you'll have Matthew Richmond. Row 4, Alex Corjay and David Harden. Row 5, you have Alan Dixon, Blake Bingham. Row 6, J.P. Schneider and Steve Madden. Row 7, Gene Wolfe and Jared McCauley. Row 8, Josh Van Western, Tony Edrington. Row 9, Chase Harden and Josh Fatsenbender. Row 10, Peyton Harden, Massey Spires. Row 11, Tim Harmon, Marshall M. Fly Harris. Row 12, Bo Dinger and Ryan Hoover. Row 13, Gary Sargent, Brandon Hughes. Row 14 will be Corey Bradley, Andrew Kolb. I don't believe he's racing at the race. He might actually logged in wrong. Row 15, Gary Sack and Joe Archer.
We got ourselves a race here.
A very big field. 29 drivers will be on track when we take the green flag. Like I said, I don't think Andrew Kolb is going to grid up. I think he might have joined the session accidentally as a racer instead of a watcher.
Oh.
I've done that multiple times with broadcaster, especially in Arky.
Yeah.
Because in Arky, you don't get to pick, what car you want. It's just register or watch. And I move my mouse over too much. But
Yeah, I've done that before. I almost did it tonight.
going back to what I was saying about that pit lane exit, this track alone probably has the most sensitive pit lane exit out of any tracks. A lot of the tracks
yeah.
you can get away with touching, like we'll actually go right along cockpit here with the 8, but you can get away with touching that white line you see down below the 8 because you're technically supposed to stay below the white line. A lot of tracks you can get away with touching it, and then you'll see a blue line and a blue cone coming up. A lot of tracks you can get away with putting your right front above that blue line. You see that cone right there? This track you cannot. All 4 have to be below the blue line as they cross it. I found that out the hard way twice when we raced here last time.
Oh yeah, yeah. You did find that out the hard way. It's so sensitive here. It's kind of ridiculous, but we all run into those issues at some point.
We get ready to go green flag racing here. Davey Hendricks, I'm calling it now. He's going to be able to assume the lead coming out of 2 on lap 1, depending on the start he get. But we've known Davey to have some really good restarts and initial starts of the race.
Oh yeah.
Pacer's going to pull off. We're going to go to the starter cam here as these guys get ready to start round 2 here in the season for the Midwest Days of Thunder Xfinity Series.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Davey Hendricks not getting quite that good of a jump. They get ready to roll into turn 1 here. Nance is clear.
He's already clear.
Nance clearing Davey early. Watch that 93 Matthew Richmond. He's going to run that high side. Might have a run here off a corner exit. Nose to tail the 8 and 51 are.
Wow, that's kind of close.
Going down the back, there's Kevin Jordan, who started P3, trying to make his way around the 51.
95 is going to have a run off the corner here, off the second lane.
19 to 4J, he's already going up to the high line, trying to test it out up there.
Oh, we got a wreck. It is the... Yep, that's a caution. It was way back in the pack. Oh, and there's cars in the grass everywhere. Gary Sargent involved.
Wolf was involved as well. Let's go back and see what happened here. It's the 17. I think the wreck happened in front of him. Oh, the one hard into the outside wall. Flex the 17 and Gene Wolf. Oh, wow. All right, let's go ahead and watch that back from the 11th point of view. The 11th,
that was a hard wreck.
Bender. Wreck happened in front of him. Right into the side. I can't quite tell who he got into there. Peyton Harden, I think, went in the grass, did not get any damage. He might have a little bit. I think he got in this 37 of Matthew Spires. Yep, that's who got spun around.
Yikes.
A little bit of damage in the back end, and here at this track, that damage is definitely going to slow you down.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate break for some drivers. It's the first lap. You're coming to the second lap. Wreck happens. it's just a bad break.
Yep, Fast and Bender and Gene Wolfe already looking at some meatball fight they got to deal with here early on.
Right now, it looks like Nance is in the lead, and I mean, I bet he's okay with having these first 5 or 4 laps being led.
I'm over here laughing. So Nance and 4J kind of had a rivalry last season, and Nance
yeah.
bumpers said, "I don't forget."
They were trading bumpers for the championship, weren't they?
Yeah. That's pretty funny. So it's gonna be interesting because this schedule's weird. Because we're gonna go. We had, of course, we had Daytona last week. We got Auto Club this week. 2 really draft dependent tracks, and the next week we go to New Atlanta. So we start the season off at 3 draft dependent tracks, 2 super speedways and a 2-mile track, and then we go road course racing. So that's a very interesting way to start off the season because at these first 3 tracks, I mean, you want teammates around you, and right now, I think the only 2 teammates up towards the front of the field, I'm seeing nose to tail, at 93 and at 19. I might be wrong though.
Oh, I mean, these first 3 races, they're like chaos, 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 and then technical.
Joshua Banks not having a good start to his race. Last season's champion for the ARCA Series. The ARCA Series. He's currently sitting, I believe, outside the top 20, if I'm not mistaken. He's currently sitting in 24th place. Wasn't involved in that wreck. He might have pitted, though. The Dinger get caught up in that. Would be the 2. I'm going to take a quick look at his car. Little bit of back damage. Take a look at the front. He might have. It's got a decent amount of damage on that front end. That big parachute that's produced on that front end is definitely gonna hurt his speed if he's leading a pack. I mean, if he's under full power, he'll be fine in the draft. But once that draft starts getting split up on the long run, he's off by himself. His speed's definitely gonna be hurting.
I don't know why, but the term parachute always like nags me because it just makes me feel slow just saying it.
You guys lined up nose to tail. They get ready to go back. Green flag racing here. Nance electing the outside lane. Kevin Jordan to his inside. Green flag is out. And we're back. Green flag
Great
racing
restart.
Here.
That was a great restart for the 8.
Y'all just gotta remember we're in that restart zone here. Nance starting to pull away from the 95 here on this restart. Jordan right behind him, Davey Hendricks. You got 2 speed demon guys. That's around at your top 5. And DJ Schomburger, as I mentioned, his name gets hard into the outside wall, still trying to collect his car going down the backstretch.
That 95 is flying down the backstretch. He's going to be side by side with the 8, and he's going to take the lead here. He's going to clear him.
Schomburger drops from 6 all the way to 12, so that contact onto that outside wall. And you heard Easton say it, 95 is going to assume the lead. Now that 51 is getting around the 8 of John of Nance, and the caution will fly yet again.
Chaos.
I'm telling you, something happened with Spires. That's one thing that I picked up. Let's go see what happened here with Matthew. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think. Looks like Matthew rolling through middle 3 and 4. Gets loose. Back up right into Marshall. Nowhere for N-Fly to go. And that definitely bring up the caution. Let's see if we can't go back and find when the 56 or the 15 got on the wall here. And watch how fast he dropped. He's coming off of turn 2 on the initial restart here. Hard on the outside wall. Does a great job not spinning it out, getting off the wall. I mean, he loses 6 spots right here alone.
You know, I'm kind of curious about that pace car because I think that's the fastest I've ever seen a car use that access road. Like,
Hey,
how much downforce does that thing have?
these pace cars be drifting to catch up the field, and we got some takers. No, thought Davis can go down pit lane. And I will say this from experience: these cars will get about 30 laps of fuel, give or take, because remember that we had our playoff race was 100 laps. When I pitted before I screwed myself over, I was to the good exactly, and I was pitted on lap 33 with saving. Without saving, you guys can go about 30 laps on fuel. When I say I was saving, I was clutching in on every corner, clutching in, turning my car off, rolling through the corners. Okay.
You know, I've never really clutched in on any tracks. I mean, I just haven't done that a lot. It's
If you know how to do it, it actually saves tires and fuel.
Yeah, but sometimes it gives me the feeling that I would slide the tires more for some reason. I don't know why.
Hughes RPM at idle supposed to be $2,000, 2,000. Man, if you're talking about Bodinger, his pit crew's repairing that damage. We go check back in. Let's go take a close look at his front end again here. Bodinger multiple laps down, only completed 2 laps here, so wonder if he has a meatball. I don't think he does. I don't know what's going on with Mr.
Bo Dinger's had an unlucky he had an unlucky last week. Daytona. Went 2 laps down, I think.
Brandon, he was saying, damn, so he must have some damage. Let's check in on that 30. Oh, wow, yeah. Not sure what might have happened here with. Let's see if we can't go back and figure out when the damage was. Alright, so here's Brandon Hughes. There he is right there. You'll see what happens here with the 32 machine on this restart. I think Brandon Hughes might go off on this wreck.
Oh yeah.
There's the 37 getting loose. Marshall nowhere to go as it corrects.
We're not going green. Not going.
Lights are back on the pace car.
Ah! Tough break there for Brandon. Yeah, he definitely was involved in that wreck. Everyone's favorite ARCA driver moving up to Xfinity, not everyone's favorite Xfinity driver. Had a tough break last week. Up running in the top 5, was involved in a last lap wreck. Could have had a possibly top 3 even a win. He had the speed, he had the run to collect that win. Involved in the wreck in turn 3, took him out of that top 5 contention, and then this week early on already with a lot of front end damage on that 32 machine.
So the lights are back on the pace car. We'll come and do one more lap, and we'll be 1 to green next time. Kevin Jordan has chosen the outside, so that'll be interesting.
Berlin, let me ask someone, and I will get back with you on that.
I wonder why they actually delayed the green.
Not quite sure. Stupid damn Discord. So, I actually had someone ask me who the Spires collecting that. I think it was just a 32 to 78. If you want to go back and rewatch that, Ethan, go for it. If not, I'll look at it later. Ethan, you there? So I'm currently having Discord issues at the moment. Lovely. am currently having Discord issues. What is going on, Gavin? I do not. I only own Xfinity and a Cup team. I owned ARC team last season. And most of my drivers did not complete the season, so I don't want to go through that hassle again. So I just stuck to trucks and ARC Cup and Xfinity. I'm gonna try to get my Discord issues figured out. We cannot hear Ethan, but in the meantime, we are going back green flag racing here at Auto Club.
Green flag, green flag.
Kevin Jordan in that restart zone getting an outstanding restart here, going to be easily able to clear the 51 of Davey Hendricks. We're calling the 51 because I think I've always known him as the 81. What do you mean ready to race tomorrow? Here? Kevin Jordan getting a really good drive off on that corner, and someone else call out real quick. It's number 5, Chase Harden, doing an outstanding job here early on in this race. Currently sitting in that 8th position. The 19 of 4J gets a run off that corner exit. Going to look to the outside of Nance. Remember, these guys did have issues last season. Nance going to throw the block on there, going down the front stretch, going into turn 1. No bridge, got it. Is it going to be in your micro? Oh, the 20 of Madden hard into the outside wall and corner exit. Gonna lose 1, 2, maybe 3 spots here. The 33 of David Harden's looking in. 5 and 31, Dixon Chase side by side rolling out of turn 4 here. Chase has a little bit of momentum on that low side, shockingly. To be able to hold Dixon off here for a base and clear that 31 machine, move Chase Harden into 6th place. Some more side-by-side action behind him as David and McCauley go at it for 8th place. My bad, 9th place. We go back to the leaders here. 95 easily driving away at 51. Has about a car length gap to the 8 machine. You see the 93 and 19 working together on that outside line, trying to get something going here. Davey Hendricks slow on track, pulling down the pit lane. I don't know what's going on there with Davey. That's kind of shocking. But Davey Hendricks pulling off. Gotcha. That's going to move everyone up a spot. I don't know if he's going to disconnect or what. Oh, wow. And I almost forgot these guys do have a stage break here in their pockets coming up. I cannot look at it right now. I'm hoping someone who is watching in the chat can tell me what it is, because I can't get into Discord right now. I can't get into Discord at all. 4J right on that back bumper. Jonathan Nance, we saw these two race around each other a lot last season. We go check in on that 51, see if he's still on pit lane. Still sitting on pit lane. I wonder if he got a black flag or something. He did. Davey Hendricks must have got a passing under yellow black flag. When we get a chance, we might go look at that restart. As there is going to be a stage break. Not sure when it is, though. Brandon, if you can tell me the stage break is, that'd be amazing. I can't get into Discord. Banks started toward the back of the field. Banks up. No, he started toward the front of the field. He fell back a little bit. He's now made his way back into the top 10. Your biggest mover of the race so far is the 89 machine of Gary Sack right behind Joshua Banks. Up 15 spots just outside the point window. No, my bad, differently. It's only top 7 get points for stage breaks. Gary Sack up 15 spots from where he started at. Your biggest faller of the race is DJ Shaw. No, Davey Hendricks down 20 because of that black flag. I believe Davey is down 2 laps. Might be only down a lap. Let's go ahead and see here. We get the split going. And all single filed it out for the most part. When we get our next caution, I'm going to work on do my damage to get back into Discord. Just reminded, this whole season is sponsored by Joe's Design Shops. That's going to be the number 6 machine right here, Joe Archer, who is missing a front bumper. Unfortunately, he is rocking the scheme for the sponsor this season. He actually owns that business. In the meantime, Ford J and Jordan have closed that gap on Jonathan Nance. And we take a look at some last lap times here by Jordan and Nance. You see Jordan, no, Nance has been quick the last few laps. Oh, Nance got around Jordan. Wow, I forgot about that. Jordan was leading the race. Now 4J working his way around Jordan. See here, 4J, other than the last lap, his previous 5 were faster than Kevin Jordan. Working that outside line, going to get the runoff here off of turn 2. Going to try to get that draft of the 8 machine, work his way around the 95. Side by side they go into turn 2. Jordan sticking to that low side. 4J sticking to that high side, and he has a teammate in the 93 right behind him. 4J will clear the 95 of Kevin Jordan. And I just had major net coding, or desync right there. I'm not even getting audio to my stream now. What in the world is going on? Oh.